And then, Stickman came to be. This world has the two major factions, red and blue. These two factions would not be in such horrible turmoil, yet. A blue, known to be named Friedrich Stoic, discovered a land soon, to be known as Stoic, which would later be known as the Field of Bodies. He would later build a facility to advance their technology, and one small thing has caused this war, slavery. Stoic used red slaves to do his work, and in poor conditions too. This led the Reds, with boiling anger, to start a large-scale war upon the Blues, and it goes on for so long, that you see the last Red and Blue fighting each other in Stoic during Uber Part 2. The facility was history, and the Reds had salvaged all they can from the facility. And then, a vital anomaly was created. This was the Stick Nodes portal. This allowed the Blues and Reds to access Stick Nodes to get their weaponry, tech, structures, anything you can name. It was transferred to computers, and the two sides got to work. They transferred files into physical objects, in a unbelievable manner. Two whole armies forged by themselves in under weeks. The tech-heavy Reds had begun to assault many outposts and camps of the Blues. Weakening their small encampments would lead them to their main HQ, and as hunkered down as they would all be ready to strike. This was not good for the Reds. But one Red had changed the tide for the war. Boris Preston was a smart and powerful commander of the Reds, and he acted quick, thus causing them to fall back and regroup, rebuild, and re-empower their army. Both sides spared the merciless, reckless bloodshed, and a peace treaty was signed. The Treaty of a war-torn Baden Rouge caused no activity there. For now. Supply lines for both sides were severed, and the fighting made it worse. Collapsed buildings and innocent murders were not any better. Baden Rouge had caravans and supply vehicles going in and out through the dilapidated city, but small militias killed everything, not on their side, that came through. The Blues had a thirst for more physical power. With the Stick Nodes portal, they created drugs. They learned how to create drugs themselves, and from other sources, the drugs were more powerful. Buff Out and Med-X from the Fallout video games were seen in the Stick Nodes portal, and were then made physical, like most other files. This portal was a dimension-bending discovery, and killed the line separating which can be real, and which cannot. Drugs were popular among Blues, which took up drug dealing as their occupations. They were given slaves or money for them. Executed or being constantly traded to different people. Being a slave was a fate worse than death. But execution was the least painful way out, if it was by the most lethal means you could think of. The suffering of slaves picked up about 20 days after the Treaty of Baden Rouge was made official. Reds were shot once in a limb that wasn't their head, and would be left to bleed out, a horrible and disgusting fate you would have indeed. Slaves were no longer forced to do work. Instead, they were forced to unnecessary suffering. Innocent Reds were taken out of their homes, and Blue spies would capture Red soldiers in complete silence. However, one specific Red cheated death. He was Wesley Rydberg. He was wounded with a .45 ACK round, straight in his shin, but had waited for the moment, and taken out a camp of Blues, after months in captivity. He fled in one of their vehicles to a major Red encampment. He was in excruciating pain, and was healed of his wound later. After a few days, Wesley headed into an empty arid field, and started working as hard as he could. He would begin another event, that would change the power of the Reds. The Super Soldier, a powerful android that was known to withstand 3.50 BMG rounds to the face, was created, but not without any failure. This took him almost 2 years, and after all the prototypes, the first real Super Soldier, Unit 101A, was created. The first number meaning the version, and second number meaning their power rating, ranging from 1 to 9. That power rating may be upgraded by a third-party user, if that unit has proved themselves powerful in battle. The first letter meant the last initial of whoever published it, meaning they programmed the software for its use, and the second letter meaning any letter of the Phoenician alphabet for identification. An example name would be Super Soldier Unit 1F4 Echo. The Super Soldier android made of Rydberg's work had been mass-produced, but not without any physical work. Soldiers without the stomach to kill can offer their help by programming units at large facilities. They can also build the models themselves, but that has ever since been replaced with technology. After 30 years of service, Wesley Roebuck has announced the Mark II version of the Super Soldier android, with cloaking abilities, hiding weapons, and an overall faster, smarter, and stronger model. He sadly never got to see the true power of them, as he passed away of old age the following day. The Blue faction was shocked at the power of the Super Soldier. Blue casualties racked up at a high amount, but the Blues kept on fighting. They revered their interest in technology and started making their own ways to turn the tables, genetic and body modifications. A Blue could have brood-like strength to never feel the recoil of a .50 BMG, or could take more bullets to the chest. However, the Super Soldier still had the spirit of battle in them, and kept killing. This wave of lore ends here. The animations will come, and eventually, this war could come to an end. Thank you for watching.